Hello, everyone. I'm going to get us set up here. Give me 1 second. Welcome to class today. I am so excited to welcome the amazing Danielle Wickes of John Bead, who is such a talented designer and friend, and it's always lovely to spend an hour with you. So
it's good to see you.
It's good to see you. I wore pink to match my favorite of the bracelets today.
Excellent.
And even someone will eventually spot there's a hole somewhere on this shirt, but I was like, it's like some of the only pink I have, and I had to wear pink today. What's the quote from Mean Girls? Someday we wear pink. On Tuesday? What is
it Tuesday?
I don't know.
I need to phone a friend.
I'm confident someone will know in the comments.
Someone will know for sure.
How's your day going, Danielle?
It's going good. It's busy. It's fast. Like everything's just going.
I know Danielle just taught a Michael's class. What did you make today in Michael's?
Oh, today we made a cool netted rope bracelet, which I already moved over there.
Fair enough. It looked very.
I had a big mess here earlier. So.
All right, I'm going to add your overhead also.
Yay.
So you get a sense of what we're doing today. So Danielle taught
keep magneting together.
It's amazing because you could if you put them all together, they become a necklace.
I did that earlier. I thought that was so cool. Just put them all. Whoop, whoop. That's not the right one. There we go.
It kind of work. Oh, does it?
No, it worked earlier. I done something wrong. Hang on.
So Danielle taught these. That's so funny to me. This really cool bracelet design at Softflex Customer Appreciation Week, and it's such a it's very elegant when you look at it, but then it's very straightforward once you start putting it together, which is really nice.
Oh yeah.
And then Danielle had this lovely idea to make a few more colors of this design for the shop, because I think you made 4 original colorways that I checked your Etsy shop. She is sold out of all of them because this design is so awesome.
Yeah, I kept selling out. I have them here. There's a bunch of versions because when you teach live, you end up with making several of the same thing over and over again. But yeah, I couldn't keep them in stock. I even sold a couple of the finished colorways too. So people love these, and they will definitely sell if you're someone who sells your work and you're gifting for the holidays. Folks love these.
They're really giftable. Yeah, I think that because it's not. I think it's because of maybe it's because of the rhombuses themselves. Maybe that would be helpful to tell folks about them if they haven't seen those yet.
Oh yeah, so these beads were designed by Lena Gillespie for John Bead, and they did this before I had joined the company. But they were one of the very first exclusive John Bead beads that I ever saw.
Yeah.
And when I was in Tucson in 2020, I put that together in my mind. I'm like, oh, this is the company that makes the rhombus beads. That's how I knew them.
Yeah.
And so there's so many beautiful colors, and you can do so much with them. And they're a big bead. You know how like with seed beading, you end up with these little beads, and they're not as easy to work with. These are a very generous bead with a really good hole diameter, which is why I thought about putting them with the Rola and the Softflex. Because it's just because you're not using a needle, you're using the very fine, and you're kind of trying to get it to go through. And so having a nice hole diameter is super helpful for that.
And they're just so cool. They all the pieces feel like they click together so perfectly. So it was so easy. We just got to basically pick out all the colors we wanted. Mm-hmm. So we can show folks the 3. Actually, would you show folks 3? I realized my text didn't send out, so I'm going to go ahead and send the text.
Oh, really?
I'll be back in 1 minute, but maybe show folks the 3 that we came up with for today.
And I love that you did the magnetic clasps, because when I was doing the kits, I was just doing these lobster claws, and it's good, it's good. But how cool is it that you can just take this and literally just put it on with one hand? Very, very cool. So this is the one that we were thinking we would demo the pink colorway. It's pretty easy to see. But basically the ingredients and the way Sam has it set up on his shop is that you get a kit that has all the rhomba, all of the Rola, all of the size 10 check seed beads, and then you also get the clasp. in the jump rings. So you have everything you need. If you want to grab the soft touch very fine, I believe that's also in his shop. You can get that there. And the only other thing you need is some flush cutters. So you can trim this. It's a no needle. Now, if you're one of those people that would prefer to work with a needle, like lots of people like prefer to stitch, you could also just pick up a size 10 beading needle and some wildfire. And that will also work for this design. So you can do either way. The way I'm going to show today is the soft touch way, and it has, you work it from the center with a really long strand. You'll want to cut about 2 yards of it to get started. And 2 yards is probably, either the perfect amount or a little bit more than you would need, but you want to have extra for a couple of things. One, to weave in at the end. And then the other reason you might want to have a little extra is as you're picking up beads and stitching through, sometimes you need to trim the front of it to make it stay, because you're using it as kind of a needle. So sometimes it helps to use it to trim it a little bit as you're working. So lots of extra doesn't hurt. I did make all of these with this color. So this is what is it? Somewhere on here it says what it is. It's the regular color. Like, it's not the white and not the black. It's like I think it's satin silver, if I'm remembering right. But this is the color I used in all these. But today I'm going to demo with black so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to move these two aside, and then I'm going to just bring out the beads for this one. So for starters, you're using some Rola. And these are the 4.5 millimeter Rola. You guys, if you've been watching our Softflex lives, we've been using these a lot for lots of bead weaving stitches with the Softflex.
They're such great beads.
They're so pretty. I love that. This is metallic copper. I'm so glad you picked this one up. It's like my favorite one.
Oh yeah. Well, I bought a whole bunch of the Rolas and the rhombuses that we're eventually gonna have to will make their way into the shop. But today we're starting with the 3 kits because we've already picked out all the colors that go so well together.
Oh, okay.
And you talked about the soft touch. Softflex has this really cool trio where you get 3 colors of soft touch, and they happen to match the bracelets really well. So those are in the shop also, folks. That's like the only other supply that's not in the kit. You get all the beads, you get the magnetic clasp, and then you just need the soft touch wire and very fine. So when you're picking up your kit, you can also pick up the soft touch trio, which has the 3 colors, or you can get it by the spool and by the 30-foot spool. You can kind of pick what you like. But it's really cool that each color actually matches each really well. Like this one I thought also looked really good with the satin silver. There's the Decadence looked good with the black. And the Sand and Sea looked really nice with the white quartz. So the trio is actually kind of perfect. You just get 10 feet of each and could make each bracelet if you like.
That's really cool. I hadn't thought of that. You're totally right. This is perfect for the Decadence one. And then, I would do this one with the silver. And then that beautiful Sand and Sea with the white.
It works really nicely because of the seed bead.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's cool. I love it.
Yeah, so for those folks that are just joining us, because now that the text finally went out properly, these are the 3 new kits that Danielle and I released from her Rhombus and Rola bracelet design.
And this one's Fall Rose. This one is Decadence, the chocolatey one, and then this is the Sand and Sea. So we were going to demo the pink one. I was thinking, you still think pink after seeing those up there on the live?
I love all of them, but the pink one has a special place in my heart today.
Good. Okay. We'll go with that one. And then last but not least, I'm kind of laying out all the beads. I can't remember how many you included in there. I think you gave like a dozen of each, right?
We gave 6 of each color, so you got 18 beads total.
Yeah. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's about how many I sent in my kits too. And that is plenty because I actually only used 5 of them.
Yeah, we gave this 6 just in case folks wanted to add some length, or in case there's some weird imperfection. You just have one extra of each color.
This is my favorite color of all the rhombus beads. Well, it's hard to choose a favorite.
They're so shiny.
But look at the way, I love how it's black on the side.
That's just really smart bead design because it's like that black base glass and that copper finish is so beautiful. It's very
I love that one. That was cool. And then last but not least, you got the clasp, right? The magnetic clasp.
You got a TR clasp magnetic clasp from my favorite line of theirs. Their hammer tone line is so beautiful.
And then the jump rings. So you just put a couple jump rings in there. Are those in
You
there?
got like 6 jump rings per kit.
6 jump rings. Gotcha.
You could add length if you wanted.
Yeah, I only use 2, but yeah, adding length is a good idea. It's a good way, another way to do it.
Yeah, because your original design, you had done like the extender chain, and there's something about bracelets where I like love magnetic clasps. So we kind of like met in the middle. We did extra jump rings, so you can add length if you need to, or you could increase or decrease the number of rhombuses that you use.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, folks, this kit is on the app or on the website. You can. Hopefully Jesse will be here in a second and can drop the link for us.
Cool.
But that's the kit.
There it is with a few more extra jump rings. I'm not showing there's like 4 more, right?
Yeah.
All right. And so for the length to cut, 2 yards, like we were saying, 2 yards is good. You could get away with a little less if you already know you don't want to use like all 6 rhombus, but 2 yards is a good starting point. I feel like you'll have there's a little bit of waste for having a whole 2 yards, but it's still, I feel like it still works, you know? Okay. And what I did after cutting 2 yards is I just kind of like brought both of these ends together. And let's see, I'm going to do one little thing here. I'm just going to trim that because it's a little bit to the side. There we go. Okay. So the goal here is to find the midpoint, and we're going to bring 6 seed beads. And if you want to put your clasp on now, you can. I didn't when I was making my samples, only because the magnetic clasp is, it'll be kind of like moving around while you're stitching around, and it'll eventually start to join. So I put it on at the end. I just opened up my jump rings and did that. But you could, like, if you wanted to, you could put it on now, and you could skip the jump ring too, if you wanted to. It would just be down here in between your seed beads.
How long does the bracelet come out as when you do the kind of as is with the 15 rhombuses? As is with the 15,
you're going to get from one side of the end of the clasp to another, it comes out to just a hair under 7.5.
Okay, and so if you want a shorter bracelet, you could actually take out a couple rhombus beads to get a 7-inch bracelet.
Yeah, you could, because the clasp does add quite a bit of length there. The beaded length is a bit shorter. It's if you just count the beads, it's closer to like 6 3/4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so really good length there.
As folks start to construct it.
Yeah, exactly. And wasn't sure if I mentioned there's a PDF too. That's already on the website to show all these steps.
Well, let me add that link to this post because that is such a great resource.
And it shows everything I'm showing now. So what I did for starters is I picked up 6 seed beads. These are the size 10 check seed beads. And I have 6 on here. If you were putting on a clasp right now, you'd want to put your clasp in between these 2. So 3 clasp and then 3. But I'm just putting on all 6 right now. I'm going to add my clasp at the end. And go ahead and hold this side in your hand and then just come down. I'm sliding all the way down this wire here. And bring these 2 ends together to find your midpoint. So hold these ends here and slide this down. So what you'll get is these little seed beads sitting down here at the midpoint of your big strand. It's a lot to work with at first, but it gobbles up pretty fast. And then it doesn't really matter what order of color you want to do. Just go ahead and choose your first color. And I just alternated them. But you can really do any pattern you want to. I just went one color to the next color to the next. And bring the rhombus bead. It's a really cool design. It's like a diamond shape, but the whole orientation is unusual for a 2-hole bead. It's very cool. And so I like it. You want to bring each of your strands through it like that. And then just kind of help it find its way down. And it'll create a little loop for you there. If your clasp's on there, your clasp will be hanging out right there at the bottom in between those 2. And so now what I'm going to do is come back up to the top. And this will be It's easier to do when you're not on camera. On camera, I keep moving it back and forth, but you'll be able to do this a little faster on your end. If you want to bring a Rola bead, these are the 4.5 millimeter Rola, check Rola. They're these guys right here. Bring one on each strand. So those are separate, one on each. Bring it down and it will sit right on top. So we're going to do this all the way down the length. There's that color. And next I did Capri. I think this color is called Capri Rose or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's really pretty. Getting a Rola on each one. And that's all we have to do just for a while.
This is where like that simplicity element comes in, where like you just like you go down one direction, following the same step, and then we get to like complete it the other direction. And then like, we have a beautiful bracelet.
Exactly. And it's just so like, it's relaxing. It's not one of those things you have to think about. And no needle, no threading needles, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I guess for folks who didn't catch at the beginning, the advantage of using soft touch extra fine here is that you don't need to use the needle. And I guess, but I guess we are going to weave in potentially still.
Yeah, I just weave in the soft touch.
That's so intriguing. I've never used any soft flex product without a crimp bead.
And you could, if you really wanted to crimp it, it just doesn't need it. Like and I'll show it at the end, but what we did is we just brought it all through the work. And when you weave it in, it kind of goes through the rhombus bead, through the Rola, through some of the seed beads. Then, so it's doing that. And that's just enough to lock it in. But it gives it the ability to, like, at the end, sometimes when you have something that's on a threaded design, like a stitch design, and you've got it all done, but you've got areas where you're a little tighter and a little looser. And so it gives it a wobble or like a sway, and that's not really something you can just stretch and kind of like work out. This one moves like it's on a loom design because of the way the soft touch just slides inside the beads.
Mm-hmm.
It's forgiving. Like any tension issues you may have had stringing it, it just kind of all settles. And that was one of the things I really liked about it. I originally did this design as a stitch design on Wildfire a long time ago. And it was great. In fact, I have it here. I can show it. You can't totally tell the difference unless you're looking at what stands out to me is that it has a different, tension to it. The beads look tighter, closer together.
The PDF mentioned that it works. That you can also do it with like a size 8 Wildfire.
Yeah, 0.006 or 0.008, whichever one. 0.008 is probably better. This is a 6 here, but because this is such a thick bead, the 0.008 might be a better choice.
Gotcha.
They both work though. But yeah, I think I work on with whatever's sitting on my desk. I can't remember.
I know, because I've noticed you gravitate towards the 6 a lot, and that's the one we have in the shop in a bunch of colors.
It's the one I use the most just because it's the most versatile. You can always make a smaller thread work out in a design that uses either, but it's harder to use the 0.008 if you're trying to work with like an 11.0.
Hmm.
So it's the better choice, I think.
Right.
If you can only stock one, I would go with that one.
Can't go both directions, huh?
Yeah, and so the cool thing about rhombus is you don't have to worry about what side is the front or the back because there is no front or back on these.
Have you ever made like matching earrings with the rhombus beads?
Oh, that's a good idea. No, I haven't done that yet.
I was thinking of ideas last night of like if somehow I could make like a loop of like the seed beads and then come back up through a rhombus just for like a nice quick matching earring. But otherwise you could just kind of take this design and.
Yeah, this would work totally as an earring. Just make a shorter version. I think that would be good. I do have an intermediate level bead weaving earring design made with these. There's actually a few different versions. If you're a member of Interweave's subscription service, I have a couple on Beadwork Magazine Digital up there.
Oh, wow.
That show how to use these in like a stitch design with candy beads. Very cool.
Who said candy?
No, we have beads that are called Candy Rose and Candy. And they come in
Some
all kinds
parts are
of.
delicious.
I know. Actually, I should get you some samples of those because I'm kind of musing on them right now, coming up with stuff. And you might need to do some.
I'm no clue what those are going to look like. What does a candy bead look like?
They are a 2-hole dome bead. And some of them are just, they come in 2 sizes. One is, I think, like a 12 millimeter and the other is 8 millimeter. They're very cool because they have, like there's a flat side and a dome side. And there's a couple of versions, one of which is one that has roses carved into the top. So it's like got a wash on it.
Oh,
And
wow.
then, yeah, like my favorite is the black copper wash. Looks a lot like these.
These rhombus beads, I just like, they seem so versatile to me. Just especially like because they're 2-hole, they could bring together multi-strand pieces really nicely.
Oh, yeah. These are, I think they're like among my top favorite beads ever.
I assume based on the geometry that you can also make multiple rows of them that fit together.
Yes, and that's like one of the first things Lena did with them. She made a whole necklace like that. I
It's kind
think
of
you
like
could, if like,
yeah, kind of like what people do with like duos.
yeah, a lot like what, well, sort of like the diamond. I can't
Yeah.
remember the whole orientation on those. I have to think about that. I can't remember which way they go.
I like stumping Danielle just for quick moments.
Now I'm trying to think about it if they run this way or that way. I want to say they run this way, right?
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
They're very
We got
cool.
some
You can do
folks
so much
excited
with
that
them.
there's no crimping needed in this design.
Oh, yay. Yay, Brooke. Yeah, I'm really bad at crimping because crimping is forever and that makes me scared. This one, if you had to, you could just pull the wire back out and start over, which I've done, actually. I got the colors wrong on one of them. I'm watching for that now because I know I'm going to do it. So shout at me if I do.
I don't know if I would notice.
I did it a few times when I was making the samples, like where I changed the order midstream and it just didn't look. And
I
that's the
would.
only thing I will see. Like if I look at it, that's all I will see. I can't like overlook it.
It's only once you notice it though. Like you would have to tell me to look for it. I would just be like, ooh, bracelet.
And see, and I would notice that after I crimped, right? And then it would be too late. But yeah, so like this is what I mean by being forgiving. So whenever I pull too hard on one side, I can make it kind of spin like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you want to fix it, you just kind of hold both sides here and just lay it out. A little bit of pressure and it goes perfectly straight. So you can add as many or as few as you like. So I'm going to stop here after this last one because I feel like I've got enough on here. I don't need those last 3 there. But another thought I was having is you'll have, if you got all 3 kits, you'd have enough for a 3rd bracelet with all the colors together.
Oh,
That'd be crazy.
you have like you can make a short bracelet with a 9. We have 9 extra pieces.
Yeah, or even like, so for me, I would stop here. So I would
Oh,
have,
right.
I'd have like 4 extra. I'm going to go ahead and put one more on just for symmetry.
And you definitely get extra Rolas and extra seed beads because we did like 4 or 5 grams of seed beads. So yeah,
good.
actually that's kind of smart. If you do get all 3 kits, you definitely will be able to make a bonus bracelet with like a multi-color mix.
That'd be beautiful. And you can put more chain, if you need it just to be a little longer, you could do that.
That's fun. If someone makes the all-encompassing bracelet, please tag us.
Oh yes, please do. I want to see it. And so yeah, I'm done stringing this part. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put 3 seed beads on each of the strands. These are going to come together. So you could put all 6 on one if you wanted, but for demoing, so you know exactly what I'm doing. I've got 3 here, and then using this other strand, and put 3 more. And if you were putting on your clasp, you'd want to put it on one of these strands now. So you just pick one of them, put your clasp on it. At this point, if you're doing that, I'm going to do mine at the end. Okay. So this strand right here, let me bring it over just a little bit. Okay. This one is this one right here. I'm going to bring it down through these three. So there's that one on that side. So just bringing that through those three right there. I'm going to leave it unpulled through for just a second. Here's this one. I'm going to bring this one through these three over here. So not going through the rhombus, just going through the 3 seed beads. So here's what that looks like flat. And I'm going to just tighten everything up. And you should get something that looks just a little bit like that.
That's so clever.
And there's just enough space for you to get that jump ring under there. Look about like that on that side.
Mm-hmm. Looks so seamless that way.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I feel like it worked out really nicely. And from here on out, there's one step repeated over and over. I'm going to just kind of turn it. For me, I like to work with it. This is towards me, away from me. I kind of orient it like this now and just start working up the sides. And I'll do like 3 and then come over here and do 3. But basically what we want to do is pick up 5 seed beads and test this out for you. For me, I thought 5 looked nice, but you could maybe do 6. And here's what I mean. See how 5, it looks really good spacing. Up here, 5 looked good to me. But depending on your tension, you may want 6 or you may want 5. And so what side do I have in my hand? At the moment, I have this side. And just go through the rolla. Only going through the rolla now. And I'm going to get 5 more on here. And this goes pretty fast.
This could also translate potentially into like a choker style.
Oh yeah, it could easily.
Because of the flat side of the bracelet.
I think it could, yeah. This is the part where you're kind of wishing you had your wildfire and beading needle, because that's the only thing is this takes a smidge longer to do with the, beading wire because it doesn't have, but I keep thinking about needles for beading wire.
Right.
I'm obsessed with the
Aren't there certain needles that can take larger wire?
So yes, they make large hole, like, the ones that are for kumihimo, for things like putting 210 tex like threads. It all works out great for getting it through. The only problem is it means you got to bend over the softlex has to bend over through the needle, the eye of the needle. And when you do that, it makes it thicker and it may not go through the seed bead.
Interesting.
It would go through the rhombus and it would go through the rolla, no problem, but it's not going to go through these little size 10 check. But I had this thought, a large hole takumi round. Have you heard of those?
No, this sounds like a very specific seed beading term.
I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen them, but haven't realized you've seen them because
Okay. Tell me more.
They're the same as the ones that you carry currently. They're just a different size.
Say the name again.
They're called a takumi large hole round.
Okay.
And I think they come in size 9 and size 11. I would go with the 9.0 if you were going to try to do a needled version of a soft touch.
The larger hold type seed bead that could work here.
Yeah.
Interesting. While maintaining a small bead. Interesting. Clever.
I don't have many of them, but I do have a few, and they're versatile.
I wonder if like a 2mm. Well, see, a 2mm fire polish is.
That would work. I think that would work. Well, let me think about that for a second.
Trying to think of how big the hole is on that.
I feel like because it's a fire polish bead that it should be good, but having not tested it, I could be wrong.
I know. Now I'm intrigued. I'm like, maybe.
And I'm fixing a little tension thing here. There we go. But this is what I mean by you can fix it later. How cool is that? So yeah, I'm kind of wishing I made an abbreviated version. It's going to take me a minute to get down to the end here.
Oh, that's all good. We're enjoying being with you.
Yeah, I always have fun doing this too. This is a fun group. I like all of the folks that always join your lives, and there's so much energy. And like I'll tune in just for like the live sales just to see everybody's comments sometimes, even though I should not be shopping for beads.
See what everyone's poking around for. I mean, you never know what'll pop up on a Sam's Bead Shop live sale.
There's some funny stuff.
We really try to maintain a little element of surprise in all of it.
Yep. I know. Good news is I didn't lose those beads. There we go. I like the contests. Those are fun.
For the bead box, or
no, you're doing like sometimes you'll just have like shout outs for like gift cards or like during the live sales where people just drop comments to
wait. That's because
prizes.
I love getting mini prizes at like in any context, and so we always have to do that no matter what.
Yep.
Like if I was like walking down the street and someone handed me a $5 gift card, that would make my day.
I know, right? It's like it's just a coffee or something, but it's the thought and it's the feeling that like you won. And I love that too. I'm totally into that.
It's Lynn Fagan's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Lynn!
She snuck away what I think might be her own birthday party to come hang with us for a bit.
Well, I was wondering if maybe I can gift one of these bracelets since you've seen how many I have.
Are you doing a bracelet giveaway, Danielle?
Want to? I just thought it just popped in my head. I should have asked you first, but I just thought
you could do whatever you want, Danielle. Yes.
I'll do the mailing and all that. I've got so many here. You choose a color and it's yours.
So do you want folks to answer a question in the comments?
That part I'm really bad at, so I need help for that part.
Okay.
I just want to give stuff away because that's the part I'm good at.
Okay. While I think on that, there was something I was thinking about in all of this. What the heck was it? See, now I don't even know.
Oh no, it'll come to you. It'll come back.
It'll come back. Okay, we got to think of a question, folks, for the comments. See, yeah, on the spot, it's way too difficult to do that.
On the spot's difficult. Well, at least, so I have 3, so we could give one for Lynn's birthday. Maybe because it's her birthday.
Lynn, you're getting happy birthdays on Facebook and YouTube right now. Oh, the thing I wanted to talk about was the competition.
Oh, that's right. Oh yes, the one I'm so gonna graciously lose.
I kind of just want all of you guys to win.
Maybe we can all win. Like there'll be categories or something.
Oh, I love that idea.
My category could be tried really hard.
Because we're gonna do. Oh, that's a nice idea to do categories. God, okay. Well, I will bring this to the competition committee, which is my sister.
Excellent.
The folks have not heard. Danielle is one of the 3 designers for our very first Sam's Bead Shop Throwdown on November 18th. So definitely mark down that Friday because it's going to be one of our most awesome streams that we do. Right before Thanksgiving, we're packing a punch, and I'm sending a kit to Danielle, Sarah Lovecraft, and Tracy Proctor of Tiercast. We're all very different designers. So I think it'll be a really good combination. I think it'll work, Danielle.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're putting me against my 2 idols, like the people I look up to in the beading industry.
No pressure.
No pressure. I mean, I've never told you this story.
I know Sarah looks up to you.
Then that just blows my mind because I've been following her for like way longer than I've been doing any of my own like lives or anything. And I've been admiring her designs. In fact, I got really back into wire because of her.
Yeah.
Because for a while I was just seed bead, seed bead, seed bead all the time. And then I started tuning into her lives where she was just doing all this incredible wire work. And I was getting like the bail making pliers. And yeah, I got a few jigs and stuff that she was using at one time to make like just all kinds of cool things like ear wires and connectors.
Can make it all out of wire, the magic of wire. But the thing is, you can also kind of make everything out of seed beads too.
Yeah, and I think Sarah does seed beading too.
Yeah,
Because I've
she
seen some
secretly
of her
does
seed
also does seed
beading.
beading.
Yeah.
And
then of course Tracy, she's like, oh my gosh. I mean, she actually gave me some of my first opportunities to get to do stuff in the bead world.
Really? Yeah, because you guys like through Tierra Cast or even earlier.
Through Tierra Cast, and then she brought me with her to Tucson because they had they were doing a competition, you know, the Bead-a-lon competition where you get a box and you have never seen what's in it and you have to design on the fly. But she and Kirsten were doing that, and so they needed somebody to hold down the fort for that time, and it was a seed beading make and take event. And so they're like, you want to come and guest teach to spell us for a bit and then just to be there on hand, because it was teaching seed beading to large groups of people is really hard.
Yeah, I imagine.
And like so they're like, yeah. So they gave me a job and they flew me out there and I got to like teach, and I was like, whoa, this is cool. I love you guys.
Awesome. Do you know how many years back this was?
Yeah, right before the pandemic. It was February 2020.
Wow.
And I've been doing a little bit of stuff like just testing and maybe some little like projects and stuff for them before, but I never got to meet anybody in person anyway until that trip.
Now you're going head to head with her, with Tracy.
As I said, I plan to lose graciously. Because it's been fun.
The cool thing about this competition is that, because normally like with the Bead-a-lon competition, like only the designers get the box. I thought it would be cool if anyone who wanted could get the box. So we made a bunch of extra ones. Like we've already made this box. I know what I'm sending you. I'm very excited. there's no
you can feel free to leak any information in my way that you would like.
There's no seed beads, but there are some very small beads that maybe you could work as you want. I'm also not opposed if you wanted to like mix in seed beads, as long as you use enough of the content of the box. You can do whatever you want.
Well, we have an hour, right? Just 1 hour.
Yeah, but you guys are only going to get an hour. Folks, everyone else who gets the box kind of gets all the time until the deadline day that's listed. So it's two different competitions. You guys have one competition, and then the whole community can also submit their designs. And we're going to call upon you three to help us pick our winner. So it goes both directions. The audience is going to help pick the winner from the main live, and then all of us are going to get to pick the winner from the community.
Ah, okay. Well, that's also really hard. I don't know which one is tougher.
We have to make the tough calls, Danielle.
I know, right? I'm just going to have to like close my eyes and say, okay, that one.
I'm going to go grab the link to the box.
Remember that like the Bead-a-lon challenge? That's like literally they give you that hour and then you have to take a picture of it on a white background on the spot with your cell phone right at the end. So you can't change it or tweak it. And then it goes on that website where everybody votes. And then you just like, you tell yourself in your mind that you don't actually really care who wins, but then you meticulously check it for like every 5 minutes to see who's going to.
I don't think I checked mine because I was just like, all right, I gave it my best shot.
I'm not going to say I didn't check it a few times.
There were a lot of components I hadn't necessarily used before in that kit, and I like managed to use a lot of them.
Yours was tough because you had to have a toaster oven. Like, I don't know if I have a toaster oven for mine. I was good.
I did not read that part of the email. They said you needed a toaster oven, and then I realized after the fact that it was a good thing I didn't use my own toaster oven that was from my shared house at the time. Because I would have ruined the toaster oven. You're supposed to have a separate toaster oven. Yeah,
because it fumes, it outgasses.
Yeah, so I'm like actually kind of glad I didn't steal the toaster oven from my house.
I'm glad you didn't too. Well, check it out. I made it to the end.
Oh my goodness.
So it doesn't take too long to make, and especially if you're having fun while you're working on it. But now I'm at the end and I've just got 5 seed beads on each strand again. So I'm back there. Let me hold it up a little closer. So there's 5 beads here and 5 beads here. And remember, we left this little loop here. Well, you guessed it. We're going to go through this loop with each of the strands. So starting on this side, it's my right hand. I'm just going to bring this up. And this part will work. Just give yourself some patience. You'll probably get through the first 3. And then you'll go through the next 3, just how I did it. Watch for kinks. See how I kind of turned that out so that it wouldn't kink up. And I'm going to bring this down. I got through just 2 there. I'm going to have to go through 1 more. And 1 more trip through here. Okay. I have a little bit of a kink there. If that happens to you, see right here, make sure when it goes through your beads that there's nothing, that it's not crossing itself. That's kind of like the recipe for making it kink, is if it's doing this, right? Like that. So just watch for it. You'll see it. So I've still got my 5 seed beads on this other strand over here. And the same thing, I'm going to go through these over here. All right, so starting on this side. And this is the one part where you're like, hey, I wish I had a needle, but I kind of stand by that it would be too thick to get through with a needle. So just make this work. And it will. Just maybe, even if you have to go through 1 bead at a time, it'll get there. Watching for those little kinks there. And if your soft touch wire is bent at all on the front here, the side you're working with, so like the part I've been needling with, it held up really nicely. But if for some reason you're having trouble getting through it, you can always trim it. And every time you trim it, it'll just get a little bit less, like, see, it's a little tiny bend to it. It's not bothering me. I feel like it's going to still work, but that's another thing to help you if this is tricky at all. Just trim it down and it should work okay. And once you get through over here, let me show you the back side here. That's my other strand. This one I just got through. That's going to kink. So turn it. I'm going to open it up like that. Okay. So now I'm through all 6 seed beads on these 2 sides. You can see kind of where it is here. From here, we're just going to weave in. Weaving in is super duper easy. All you got to do is just kind of go through, and it doesn't really matter from here which one you do first or second, but you can go through the Rola, the rhombus, and the seed beads in different order, following the existing path. And as you do that, every time you go through something and change direction, it's going to lock it in just a little more, just like in the bead weaving. So I'm going to see on this one, I think I'm going to try to go through this side. 5 beads here. I got through 3. Here's 2 more. And then it kind of automatically for me just went through my Rola, which is great. I'm good at that. That's the Rola. Here's the rhombus bead. I'm going to go through the rhombus bead. Back through the Rola bead. This part takes just a little bit of patience, but it doesn't take that long. I mean, this is one of those things you can set it aside and come back later. It's not quite as bad as bead weaving, I would say. And so now I'm going to go ahead and try to get through these 5 because I went through the Rola. Sorry, the rhombus, then the Rola. Now I'm going to go through these 5 on the side. It can help to get in there. It can help if you kind of just bend it open a little bit. There's through there. Went ahead and continued on through the Rola bead. Let's go back through the rhombus bead. This is all sketched in the handout, so you can see the thread path that I'm following right now. Or I should say beading wire path, because that's really what we're doing. There. Okay. And then I would just do the same thing with the other side. I've already gone through 4 beads. I think on my original samples, what I did there was I went through 5 or 6. So from here, I had just come from a Rola, so I would want to go through the 5 here again. And then I will trim it after I get through my Rola. And so go ahead and find, I'm going to find some of these flush cutters. Okay, flush cutters, and I'm going to push down and pull up. So I'm pushing down with the flush cutters, pulling it up with the beading wire. And so there's one side in. I need to do the same thing with this side. Open up jump rings and put my clasp on. So what do you think? Should I continue this side, Sam? Anyone want to see that again?
Sure. We have a few minutes left.
Okay.
So folks, here, this will be the easiest way that folks can enter to win the free bracelet that Danielle wants to give away so graciously. Just tell us which of the colorways here in the comments that you think you like calls to the most. So we've got, this is the fall rose one that has the pink, the cream, and that beautiful copper. And then there's the 2 others, which we'll show in just a second.
Oh, yes, I can bring those out. Here's the other 2. This one is the Decadence, Sand and Sea, and then there's Rose.
Yeah, so from top to bottom, Decadence, Sand and Sea, Fall Rose. All you have to do is let us know what your favorite one is in the comments. And I guess we'll go ahead and pick a winner during the stream.
That's great, because then I can mail it tomorrow. Because I'm going on a trip on Sunday. I'll be gone for a little bit. I'm going to Toronto. Yay.
Wow. Wait. Yeah, the fun trip's happening. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So I've never been to John Bead's headquarters. I've never been up there. And I'm going to go for my first trip. And I'm actually going to do a live class in person there.
Well, so literally like 2 people.
Yeah, I'm going to teach the team.
Oh, cool. You said live class. Like, oh, cool. I was like, and then it was like
in person. I should say in
got
person, because these are live, but like live in person class, which I have not done in a long time. Well, hang on. Yes, I have. I did it at Bead Fest. Forgot about that.
Okay, true.
But that was more of like a just, hang out in macrame.
I still have my beads of courage bracelet.
Oh, yay.
I need to add on the little sea beads we bought at the bead store afterwards.
I need to finish making something with those too. I was really bad at Bead Fest. I bought a bunch of seed beads, like loads of them, and I didn't need to do that, but I did it anyway.
You mean when remember we went to that bead store?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Danielle, who has a wall of seed beads behind her, we stopped in a bead shop that was open late night. It was like a hangout spot, which was so fun.
So, oh my God.
Go hang out with your friends at a bead shop instead of, like, say, going to a bar if you didn't want to. Or you could do both. I don't know. And,
that's what I would do.
And we were perusing, and I think I bought, one tube of seed beads that were really cool. These like etched gold and cool, awesomeness. Oh, they were blue and gold, my favorite. And Danielle, how many tubes of seed beads did you buy?
I don't know if I should be honest or not.
I was like, Danielle, what?
Okay, so like they had colors I didn't have. And believe it or not, there are still some colors I don't have.
That's incredible to me.
Especially because they were Japanese ones. And so, I have a pretty good collection of Japanese seed beads. Most of what I have right now, obviously, is Czech. And I love all seed beads. It doesn't matter like where they're from. I love them. And so, yeah, I may have bought at least 10 tubes. But here's the thing. We'd had champagne before that. So these people are brilliant. People go out to dinner. They have a tiny little drink. I'm not saying like it doesn't take much. And then you go and you shop for beads after that. And they had a picture. Who's the guy from Vampire Diaries? They had his picture in there. I can't remember.
Is that what did you in?
Damon. I can't remember his name, Ian Somerhalder, and it had his picture on the entrance, and it said, "Hey baby, I've been thinking we should take a vacation, so I'm googling towns with the biggest bead stores." Like, oh yeah,
They had these memes all around the whole store. It was
it's so
very
cool.
funny.
I was dying. I was like, this place is the coolest place. These are my people. Sell me beads.
Yeah, the owner was so cool. She also had like a gem shop right next door.
Oh my gosh, he was so cool. I gotta go back there because that's like a hidden like gem of a cool town.
Yeah,
I
there was
never
a
knew it
like
was there.
little find in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Right? I love that place.
I don't think Ricky bought anything.
I know. Yeah, he
Did
didn't.
he get anything? They might have gotten a free stone. They might have gotten a free stone. If I don't remember fully.
Boom. All done.
So that
And now I'm gonna wear them all.
the one you did, how did you end up still doing 15 rhombuses for yours or less?
Oh, you know what? Let's look.
Because I'm like super curious about this length question.
Yeah, this is 15.
So the 15 is what got us like the 7.5 inch you said. So if you want
And
to
this is 15.
yeah. So folks, if
And
you
you know
want
why
to,
that's shorter?
because my wrist is 7 inches, which I don't know if that's like small or something. Because I always feel like every bracelet I put on is big. Like Neela gave me a bracelet and it's very big on my wrist.
It's tension, and I think I did this one on Wildfire. And this one is done on soft wax. I think that's what I did. Let's take a look. This one's for sure on beading wire. For sure on the beading wire. And those are all the same length. And then check this out. Same number of beads, a little bit shorter.
The one you just did?
Well, the one I did today was soft flex. So it's definitely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And this one, I think I was experimenting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yeah,
6.
it's the same.
Yeah, 15. But see the tension difference.
Which shortens it just a hair.
Yeah. That's crazy. Okay.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, the other way, folks, you can.
I wouldn't have expected it to be that dramatic, honestly. It kind of surprises me. So now I got to look at it. Yeah.
But like, I guess if you took off like maybe 2 rhombus beads, you'd probably get down to more like a 7 inch.
Yeah. So you could make this with, like, if I was making this for me, I would have left out 1, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I usually wear like a 6.5, so comfortably. But because it's magnetic and I don't have to like have that extra length to make it possible for me to clasp it, I could probably even make it exactly fitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm kind of torn about how many to do for me.
Right.
But like this one is definitely 7.5. Yeah. That's what it's coming up as.
All right, I think it's time to pick our winner.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, I'm doing a random draw from the comments.
And let me know bracelet size for the winner to make sure. I will make sure it's the right size.
That is very, very, very generous. Let's see here. I've got Jan S. Jan Scherpenberg said Fall Rose was her favorite.
Fall Rose it is.
So Jan, will you shoot a message to Danielle? You could do it on Facebook or Instagram, whatever you like. And then you guys can coordinate that to get your bracelet. That's
perfect.
Make sure I want to make sure I pay for shipping because this was a Sam's Bead Shop class. So just let me know what it is.
I ship all the time. I have a quick way of doing it, so no worries.
Thank you for that lovely giveaway, Danielle. And congrats to Jan. Go ahead and send Danielle a message so she can get you your bracelet. And folks, if you want to make this bracelet for yourself or all 3, you can go grab your kit at samsbeadshop.com. In the link in this post will take you to see all 3 of the kits and the soft touch wire that you can make the bracelet with no crimping or needles involved, which is such a cool like combination of stitching and stringing in one.
It is, yes. Perfect. Yeah.
And then if you want your competition kit, just go to samsbeadbox.com. That's our separate site. At the top, it says bonus boxes, and that's where you'll find the competition kit. Currently, I think we're about to hit 60% sold out on the competition kit, so definitely go snag one if you have not already. Oh, the last thing I wanted to mention is that we still have some kits left from Danielle's beautiful fire rope necklace kit as well.
Oh, I thought that one was sold out. They're still available?
We like sold out, but then like a few expired from cart. So we have like 9 or 10 of each available. So if you like wanted it or like forgot it, like expired or something, you can go snag one. And if you want to make it like a little less Halloween, you can just change the charms. Like on the black plate has the bat charms, but also has the pumpkin charms, which are more fall feeling. The copper one has hummingbirds and leaves, so that one's going to be like even more versatile. But if you change the charms even on your end, you could switch up the kit a little bit if you were like worried about, since you'll probably be making it after Halloween. But we kind of designed it more so as a fall kit. That we didn't want like a super Halloween themed fit kit. We just wanted a really beautiful fire rope design that fits so well with the time of year we're in right now.
Yeah, and there's no charms on the necklace, but am I the only one who wore the bats year round? Because I would totally.
I know. I was when we were picking up the charms, Danielle was instantly picked the bats so quickly.
Yeah, I didn't even have to think of that. I was just. Whoop.
Are you not scared of bats?
No, well, cute little charm ones anyway. If it's a real one, I might not be as brave.
That is too funny. All right, don't forget to join the Sam's Bead Shop email list and text list that Jesse just linked to us. That's joinsamsbeadshop.com. And always check out Danielle's Etsy shop for endless lovelies. Always lots of seed beads, and kind of you can find some cool treasures in your Etsy shop. So go support Danielle as well. And I think it's time for weekend, Danielle.
It's time for weekend for sure.
I'm not. Rachel and I aren't about to meet for a couple hours on Beadbox. It's weekend time now.
Yeah, we're small business owners. We work weekends, but we make it fun. So
Rachel and I are trying to do more just weeks. So we're gonna go work on some future Beadboxes for a little bit.
Good for you. That's a good thing.
And then our weekend will begin.
Yes.
Well, say hello to my favorite people who are your your kids.
Oh yes. When I started my live this morning, this was on my mat.
Yep, they are my favorite people. Ever since, was it Alex who bejeweled his own shoes?
Yes, this was Alex.
Yep, that's what stole my heart. I was like, he was perfect. Never change. Nope. Alrighty, everyone have a great weekend. Danielle, have a lovely weekend. I hope you get time to rest indeed, or do whatever you like to do on your time off. At yoga, are you going to yoga this weekend?
No, I have another one coming up though. I think it's the 18th of November. We have another ladies' night where we're doing mollusk training and stuff. So.
Nice. No, just don't double book yourself with the.
Yeah, don't let me do that. It's November 18th because I'm gonna.
November 18th. I think 3:00. I'll check that.
But it's late. It's always like at 6, so I'm usually okay. 6 Pacific. I'm like.
You're great. No worry there.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a great one. It was great being with all of you.